Well, hello, howdy, what's up? Welcome to Hard Junk Talk, folks. I'm your host, Carloads, Junkyard Philosopher, Midnight Taxi Man, and now, your guide through the scrapyard of truth. This ain't your average talk show. We keep it lighthearted. Sure, we'll laugh, we'll poke fun, but make no mistake, we ask the hard junk questions. No fluff, no filler, and absolutely no shine without rust. If it squeaks, we're digging it up. Now, tonight's guest. Oh boy. You know him, you feared him, and depending on who you ask, you blamed him. He's the droopy of all contrarians, the man who once filibustered his own resignation. Former council member and full-time opinion rain cloud, Don Slippereno.
Evening, Carlos. Thought this junkyard'd be condemned by now.
Still standing, just like you, Don. Welcome to Hard Junk Talk.
I already regret it.
Perfect. Then let's begin. All right, Don. Let's roll up the tarp and get under the hood here. What do you miss most about not being on the council? Be honest now.
Oh, serving the community, hearing the people out, helping guide the creek to a brighter tomorrow.
Uh-huh. Real pageant answer there, Don. But let's tighten the bolts a little. What do you say to the rumors that you were just there to scoop up the $100 council pay, and that the minute it hit your back pocket, you'd suddenly remember your basement was flooding, or your emotional support raccoon had a birthday emergency, and boom, out the door with a dramatic exit?
That is slander, Carlos. Pure character assassination. I was there to serve. I had real obligations that sometimes came up unexpectedly.
Yeah, and every one of those obligations happened to land right after payday. Real funny timing, huh?
It was a coincidence. Life happens.
Life sure does happen, Don. But around here, we call that the Slippereno slide. Right into the bank and straight out the chamber. All right, Don. Let's quit beating around the busted tailpipe. Let's talk about Russ. Was he your friend? Or were you just his puppet?
Russ and I had a mutual respect. We agreed on certain issues, sure, but I voted my conscience.
Conscience or coordination? 'Cause there's a lot of folks in the creek who say every time Russ blinked, you jumped. Like he had a remote with just one big red button labeled Dawn.
That's nonsense. I have my own mind. Just 'cause we voted together doesn't mean I was manipulated.
Really? 'Cause from the outside, it looked like you two had a sweet little setup. 2 votes. Always in lockstep. Always just enough to steer things your way. Some say it wasn't council business. It was council choreography. And you were dancing to Russ's tune.
You think I'm some kind of puppet? That I was just there to help Russ? That's offensive, Carlos.
I think the creek deserves to know if they got played like a junk radio with no antenna. You tell me, Don. If Russ had voted to rename the creek Russville, would you have voted yes, or just abstained so you could walk out again?
I wouldn't have supported that. That's ridiculous.
Then maybe it's time to prove you had a spine behind that seat and not just strings.
Now hold on, Carlos. I came here as your guest, not to be slandered and abused. If this is some ambush, I'll walk.
Hey now, Don. No need to go full Slippereno slide on me. Look, you're right. You are a guest, and I appreciate you showing up. But you did agree to come on Hard Junk Talk, not soft-felt chit-chat, you know? All right. Let's shift gears. Let's open up the glove box and pull out a more tender question. Don, what was the moment in your time on the council, behind all the debates and walkouts, that actually meant something to you? Something real. No junk, just heart. All right, Don. Let's take a detour off memory lane and cruise through your living room. Tell me, what's the oddest piece of junk we'd find in your house today?
Oddest, huh? Let me think. Maybe those boxes?
Boxes?
Yeah, I got several boxes, full of 1x1 clear Ziploc bags.
Little Ziplocs, huh? What are those for? Packing tiny lunches for very small people?
No idea. I bought 'em years ago. Can't remember what for.
Oh, come on now, Don. Whole boxes? You weren't running a kindergarten lunch service? You sure they weren't for personal distribution purposes?
What? No. They're just bags. Empty bags. That's all.
Sure. Totally normal to stockpile tiny plastic baggies. You weren't selling oregano to your neighbors or anything?
It was not oregano. I mean, it wasn't anything. I don't remember why I bought 'em.
All right. Forgotten purpose. Bags with amnesia.
Wait. I remember now. It was for a job I was starting at the time.
Ooh, a job. What was it? High-volume lease supplies?
No. You know when you buy a new coat or jacket, and there's that spare button in a tiny Ziploc bag inside the pocket.
Yeah.
Well, that was gonna be my new job. I was gonna be the guy who puts the button in the bag and the bag in the coat. They called the position Inspector 100.
You were gonna be the button bag guy?
Yep,
And what happened? Lose the button count? Too many bags? Not enough coats?
I got fired the first day.
For what?
Smoking pot on my lunch break.
So let me get this straight. You bought a warehouse worth of Ziplocs, not for weed, but to bag buttons. And still got fired for weed anyway?
It was medicinal.
Medicinal irony, Don. Pure medicinal irony. All right, Don. We've wrenched through the rumors, sifted through the plastic baggies, and now, it's time. Welcome to the Junkyard Confessional. This is the part of the show where guests lay it bare. We dig through the trunk, behind the spare tire, past the expired registration, and we get real. Don Slipperino, tell the creek one thing you've never told the public before. Don't hold back. We ain't got time for chrome polish. Give us the rusted truth.
All right. One thing I've never told the public before. Back in 2020, during the height of my council contrarian phase, I secretly enrolled in clown school.
Clown school?
Yup. Full makeup, red nose, pie-throwing curriculum and all. I used a fake name, Boffo Jammer. I thought maybe I'd run away with the circus if politics didn't work out.
You, Don Slipperino, were gonna be Buffo Jammer the Clown?
It wasn't just about the jokes. I was lonely. Council meetings were all yelling and no laughter. I thought maybe if I could make kids laugh, or even just distract them from their problems for a bit, maybe that mattered more than all the arguing I was doing about pothole budgets and sandwich shop permits.
Dang. Don, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. I dropped out after 3 weeks. Couldn't master the balloon animals, but I still got the shoes. Size 19, sit in my closet next to the boxes of Ziplocs.
Well, I'll be Buffo Jammer, the button bagger who blew it all for a dream. That's some real junkyard soul right there. And that's what hard junk talk is all about. You never know what's buried in the junk till you dig. Well, folks, tonight we learned a little something about Ziploc bags, council walkouts, clown school, and maybe, just maybe, the strange, slippery road that is Don Slipperino's soul. This ain't your grandma's fireside chat. This is the junkyard. We don't clean the truth up. We haul it out, dents and all. Once again, thanks to Don for being here and being my first guest. Until next time, keep your hoods up, your stories straight, and your bags clearly labeled. And remember, it's not easy being Carlos.
Next week on Hard Junk Talk with Carloads.
Things are about to get a little tangled. You think you've heard all the tricks in this junkyard? Think again. Next week, we're joined by a man who pulls the strings from behind the scenes, the master of manipulation himself, the puppet master. Next week, we'll dig deep into the tangled web of power, control, and who's really holding the strings. And trust me, you'll want to be there for every last knot. It's about to get twisted.
Don't miss it. Same junkyard, new secrets.